to this episode of Next Gen Leadership, Solutions for Today's Police Supervisors. On today's episode, we're going to look at resilience and adaptive leadership. But we're just specifically going to focus on one concept, and that's mental agility. So we'll talk about what mental agility is, and then we'll put it into a scenario so you can better relate to this concept and see how you can use it to be a more effective leader. My name is Reid, and not only will I be your host today, but I'm also a 15-year police veteran and the founder of Reid Training Solutions, a training company specifically designed to empower leaders like yourself and elevate your overall performance. Okay, so what is mental agility? Well, again, I said that we're going to talk about resilience and adaptive leadership. Well, if you study resilience, just like emotional intelligence, as we covered in a previous episode, there's anywhere from 3 to 5 components to these things, depending on what model you follow. But when we talk about resilience, mental agility is always one of the components. And mental agility is nothing more than when things don't go the way you thought they were going to go, you adapt and you overcome and you problem solve and you get the job done. You have some mental agility. And if we just look at just life in general, when an event happens, something happens to us, we have a belief about that event. And because of our belief system, there's consequences to that, and they could be good or bad. Well, having mental agility is not always looking at everything as a negative. You have something happen, you have some mental agility about it, you find the positives, how can we make this work? And then based on that, you're going to have a more positive outcome. Now, I want to talk about mental agility from another perspective now as well. So think back to some great leaders that you've been in contact with, whether it's in law enforcement or just in your life in general. I'm willing to bet that they probably weren't the smartest people in the room, if you will. If we're looking at policing, there's a time and a place to know your policies, procedures, directives, and the laws. But this great leader that you're thinking of right now probably had a fairly well-balanced approach to those things. But what they were really excellent at was problem solving. I bet you can think of a situation where they were thrown into the mix, things didn't go as planned, everybody's looking for answers, and that person was able to have some mental agility, use some higher order thinking, and get the job done. And there were probably other people who were arguably smarter, knew more about the laws or the policies or procedures that didn't quite have that finesse, that ability to problem solve. So let's look at mental agility through a scenario, through a situation that you could very well be thrown into, or maybe you already have. So let's look at technology. Let's say you are spearheading a program where your department, your organization, has been writing accident reports on paper, and now you're looking to move to an electronic-based system. Well, right off the bat, what's inevitably going to happen? Well, police are resistant to change, especially when it comes to technology, so you're immediately going to have naysayers who say, listen, the paper model's working, why are we going to change this? Now, you know as a leader that innovation and technology is part of moving organizations forward to get with the times. Now, as you're doing this program, and I know this from experience, anytime you go from a paper-based system to an electronic system, there's going to be problems that arise. And you can't think of every possible little scenario that could happen. You're going to go live with a new program, and things are going to go wrong. Now, if you have mental agility, you just roll with the punches. You have somebody notify you that something isn't working properly, you have some mental agility about it, you problem solve, and you get it fixed. If you don't have mental agility, though, and if you succumb to the naysayers in the organization, well, then you'll just go back to that old paper system, which works, but there's a better way to do it. So if you're a leader who wants to propel your organization forward, and you want to get with the times and use technology to your advantage, you're going to have mental agility. And in this day and age of policing, technology is the future. There's a time and place for paper-based systems, but just know that anytime you're going to implement a new program, problems are going to arise. And you as a leader must have mental agility, some higher order thinking skills, and be able to problem solve and not think that the world is falling all the time. Well, I want to thank you for joining me for today's episode. As with every episode in this series, we've taken a really large topic, especially today with resilience and being adaptive in your leadership style, and we've shrunk it down to a nice bite-sized chunk for you. But if you want more information on this very important topic, when this video ends, I want you to go right to my website, reidtrainingsolutions.com, and I want you to book a call with me and my team so we can get more information out to you and your organization on this topic. Now, I also want you to follow Police One and stay tuned for more episodes of Next Gen Leadership, Solutions for Today's Police Supervisors. Thank you.